That's pretty. Let's see what we can do with this. Okay, in the lid we've got a lovely piece of acacia. Right, now, as anybody who's been watching the channel for a while knows, I get my exotics from a guy who makes river tables. He's a friend of mine, and sometimes I get them and they have resin in them, which is the case with this one. It's got a big bar of resin just there. Beautiful figure up the top of this. So what I'm thinking is vase. So we get this rounded off first. Step back out of the way, up to 1000 RPMs. Right, we get this rounded off. There we go, rounded off. And there's some very interesting stuff happening up here by the looks of it. And you can see the resin line there, and it seems to go down through there and there. Some voids here. That's really pretty. Right, I'm going to reinforce that with CA. See, just there, that section there. I'm just going to reinforce that with some CA. Just in case it decides to try and pop out on me. A spot there, spot there. That whole section looks very punky, I wouldn't say, but it could probably be better. So we'll give that a soaking. There is soaking as well. Oh, it's just drinking the CA in. It is quite punky there. It's there as well. Right, let that CA go off. It'd be a pity to lose that, that's quite pretty. Right, let that go off. I'll be back in a second. Right then, looks like it's gone off. Hopefully it's solidified that up. So it'd be a shame to actually lose that. Right, next thing I'm going to put a tenon on it. Square the bottom off first. I have the optimum here marked for a large tenon on the Supernova. This wood is quite hard. Yeah, that's it. Right. So 1.5 times the width of the gauge. Got that part hill. Lieutenant. Modified skew to get the angle in. Right, we throw this in the chuck, and then we get to actually start turning it. Back in a sec. She's back in the chuck, she's running through. The design I have in mind is like a classic orange shaped vase. I don't think I need to go too fancy at all because this wood kind of speaks for itself. It's absolutely gorgeous. Said it before a lot of times that if the wood is nice, there's no need for a fancy design, because you're not going to beat nature for beauty. Feel that resin hitting there. You know something, those vines might actually be pretty in there. I don't know yet. This wood is quite hard, I'm actually got to a ball gap. Much better. Now I want to leave like a step just under that rim. It's a design I particularly like. This is severely blunting gouges. Actually drop this tool rest down slightly. Very slightly. It's punky there. I'm going to have to CA this again because there's a couple of punky spots in it. Try carbide. The top of this is really strange. It's switching from hard to soft to hard to soft. Although I have a preference for traditional tools, I have no problem with carbides. They have their place and can actually get you out of trouble sometimes, especially when there's resin involved. Now, let's check that punky area. Yeah, that's going to need to be reinforced. Right, so back to the CA again. See that white bar there? That's very punky. So I'm going to have to CA that. It's really soaking it in. Let that dry. Sorry, I forgot to turn the camera back on. Right, I've got the classic shape into it, and I have the match of that there. Right, although I think that needs to be slightly skinnier on that end. Right. Now on this end, I seem to be able to use traditional tools, whereas on that end, it's got to be carbide. I'd say it's probably the resin. Just want to get that bump out. Yeah, they look about even now. Now I'm using the carbide in here because that's what I used in there, and I'm trying to match the curves up. Yeah, they look pretty close. Right, there's a bump just there I need to get out. This is basically the same side bevel cut that I showed in the cherry bowl. I'm not actually scraping, I'm cutting with the side bevel. See, right, riding the bevel, turn in until I get the cut, then pull. So it's a very gentle cut. You can use it on the outside of a spindle like this, of a spindle turner like this, but my advice would be, it's easier doing a bowl, right? Learn it on a bowl first, because this is one cut that can bite. Because the forces, right, if you're doing, use a pencil, right, the reason the gouge works, right, is the force from where you're cutting goes through the bottom of the gouge straight into this in basically a straight line. But if you're using a side bevel cut, right, the force is hitting here, but the tool rest is hitting just about there. So it's minute, but you're not directly under. Right, which is it's actually the reason the cut works so well, but it's actually the reason the cut's so dangerous as well. Right, right, I'll sand that and I'll be back then. Right, we're back now. I've only Yorkshire gritted this so far, just cleaning it off now, because I spotted something when I was sanding it. Now the sanding took a lot longer than usual because I was using carbides. But I actually spotted something, and I don't know if the camera picked it up from up there, but I'll take it off and show it to you and show you why I'm probably going to do something. Right, now I don't know if the camera's picking it up inside that resin. Right. Right, I'll just take it off, keeping it on the chuck. Try and show you this. Right, now hopefully the camera will pick this up. Can you see inside the resin? There's a really cool feature inside there. So I hope the camera's picking it up. Now if I can keep that, I will be absolutely delighted. So what I may do is just basically drill this out, hollow just the neck, down to about there, right, to try and keep that feature in it, because that is absolutely gorgeous feature. Right, so well, that's next on the list anyway, is hollowing it. I'm not going to put a finish on it until everything's done. Just before I part it off, then I'll put a finish on it. But so I just thought that was a very cool feature, and I would rather not lose it if possible. Right, so I'll set up for drilling. I'll be back in a second. I'll just measure how deep I want to go, right, which is there. Transfer that over to the tailstock. Put a mark on it. So where I need to go to. Right. And hopefully I can keep some of that feature. because I'm drilling so deep, I have to use quite a large bit so that the Jacob's chuck will actually go in. Right, I'm going to drill this at about 330. Right, I'll tighten it up a little bit. Finally, nearly there. This should be the last one. Right, there's the mark that I drew. And we're there. Now I managed to keep some of that. Sorry, hit the camera there. Ooh, stop moving. Right, I managed to keep some of that feature. In there. The big knob in the middle bit had to go, but there's a lot of that feature along there, so I will just be hollowing the neck down to about there probably, right? Because I don't want to lose any more of that. So that's what's next up, is hollowing the neck. And for that I will be using a spindle gouge. With very, very, very light cuts. Right, going up to 1100. And very light cuts on this. Now the reason I don't mind using a spindle gouge doing this is the wood's actually in the wrong orientation. I'm actually cutting at the side grain here. Now I need a little bit more light on the subject here, so I can see what I'm doing. Should probably be a handy thing, I suppose. Well, I may switch to a ball gouge here just for leverage. Just for the longer handle. That's cutting nicely, but I want to go down a little bit further. So no, actually I'm cutting resin there, So I'm going to go back to using a carbide to finish this so I get a decent cut on that resin. Yeah, much better cut on the resin there. Much better cut. Now I might actually take one cut off the resin in there just to take the drill marks out of it. Get this tail stick out of my way. That. Hit one more, I think. Right. Now we're going to sand the inside of that. And the best way to sand anything inside like that is the old sandpaper on a trick stick. But I'll sand the edge here first. Right, and I'll be back on them at the end of that. I'm just buffing off the wax. And for those of you who've been asking, guys, here's Daisy again. Come over here. Come here, Daisy. See? You were asking, was she okay? She's fine. There she is there. Okay, right, come on. Get. For those of you who don't know, Daisy is the basically the shop dog. My apprentice, as the kids call her. Because if it's cold, Daisy doesn't like cold. So if it's cold, Daisy spends most of her time in here with me. So just buffing this off. Now I've sanded the inside down to 320 and yolks are gritted it, both normal and the microfine down as far as I could physically reach, and then over the top I've put a coat of Hampshire Sheen gloss wax. And there we go. That is absolutely gorgeous up there. Right. You can see there the feature I was trying to keep, that shelf. There was a big piece inside that I was hoping I could keep, but I didn't. I couldn't. Right, and there's also clear up there as well. Right. She ended up quite a pretty vase. Now it's just a case of part it off and finish the base. Pretty dull. There we go. Right. I want to part it off around about there because I don't want it to be too heavy. Now it's starting to wobble, so we get ready to catch it. Fingers are inside of it, but not touching. Here we go, that's off. just sand and finish the bottom, and it'll be done. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, just finishing off the base, and if you wouldn't mind clicking like on the video, thumbs up, it'll help the channel out a lot, which would be great. And there we go, there's the base finished, the exact same way as the rest. I don't believe in half finishing a base. Right, so there it is. With the sawdust. Acacia vase that came to me with some resin in it, and didn't turn out too bad. I love that up there, that figure up there. So I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you in the next one.